Morning everybody, it's Bethany and Garrett here and welcome back to this book nook. When I say morning, I truly mean morning. It's 7:30 and I am taking on the road with me like a little take your kids to work kind of style, because whilst it is a school day, it is a Thursday. It is report writing day, so I do not have any students. Thanks for pressing the button for me. I don't have any students today, but I need to write all my comments, I need to, Australian reports are different to New Zealand reports. I need to let guardians know where their kids are on the curriculum. And that's all due tomorrow, and I haven't even started because I've been so swamped with other responsibilities at work. But it's really nice that they've given us this day. But I'm going to take you with me because I was making sure there was nobody at the lift. There's lots of wood things though. Well, I think the lift is going down today. Because in between my reports, I'm planning on having little breaks, and I spin the wheel. Excuse me. Not my train, but the wheel has spun for me at Pandora's Jar. Okay, I feel really weird speaking out in public when there's all these commuters around me. But Pandora's Jar, and because it's an anthology and there's like lots of different short stories in it of about 20 pages each, I'm thinking between my classes of reports I can read one of them and keep you updated and just generally take you along with me. I'll still try not to show you too much of where I work because safety on the internet. But anyway, that's my intro. See you at school. Okay team, update. All my reports are finished, which is a brilliant feeling. What I need to do now though is I've got this asthma course that is also due today. So I'm sitting in, there's like a little library reading room. I don't want to show you too much because there's school names around here. But yes, I've removed myself to this room because otherwise I just chat with my colleagues and friends. So I've got this course to do, and I am still intending on reading, but I've just got a bout of productivity, so I'm using it. But anyway, asthma course.
Information is general only and does not reply.
I'm proud to say that I passed the asthma course with 100% grade, so A+ for me, yay, I got my certificate. But now I am going to go continue with the next thing on my to-do list. Alright team, it is currently 4:15. If you're wondering why it's so dark, it's very overcast. But also we are getting to winter solstice, which is on the 24th, which is in, I don't know, like a week or so. So it's some very short days, but finished all my reports, finished everything I had to finish. Yes, birds, I know. Hang on, what is this on the gate? Has somebody impaled cans? That's hilarious. And then we had a meeting. Hang on, what? But I didn't read anything. I didn't get to read anything. Who did this? Honestly, I love being a high school teacher. I find this so hilarious. Oh, this is so good. All right, there are 96 steps in the building. I counted our lifters down for the next like 8 weeks, so step fitness it is. And also a little update on oh, I've forgotten what the title of it is called. Is it called Pandora's Jar and Other Story? Wait, does it have other stories in the title for my books and Lala prompt? Hang on, let me check. No, it's just called Pandora's Jar, Women in the Greek Myths. It doesn't have the word other in it. That's okay. Either way, it's not an anthology in the true sense of the word, anthology being a collection of short stories. These are essays, and it's actually not... I was originally thinking, oh, it'd be cool to, if they were actually short stories, fictional, because that's how I've always read them. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, actually, it's really good that these are essays, because I'm genuinely learning so much about goddesses. I say goddesses, I've only read one of the essays so far, Pandora. And it's fascinating because the author Haynes has like a master's in Greek classics, and each essay is sharing the background of the actual history of the goddess. So like with Pandora, in modern classics and, you know, the classics you grow up with, in the childhood stories, Pandora is this naughty woman who opens a box. But if you go back in time, it's like historically her as a figure, she was made by the gods to gift, I cannot keep all the god names straight, but she was made as a gift for one of the gods on earth, because she was meant to bring like doom and sin to humanity. So she was made to be a little bit conniving. So it's not her fault, it's actually the gods. And then the whole idea of the box in the jar, that wasn't even a thing until like later on. Originally it was her. She was kind of like the problem. Not that it's her fault, because she was literally made like that by the other gods intentionally. So it's really interesting. So I think though, because it's essays, I definitely need to spin the wheel and have something to break this up, because I cannot read, I believe there's 12 essays. I cannot read 12 essays like I can, you know, read a novel. So I'm going to spin the wheel. All right, the wheel has spun and chosen Deadly Education. I have actually started this one before in the past, and I got about 50 pages in, I think, maybe less than that actually, 30 pages, not very far at all, before I put it down and I wasn't quite in the mood, but this is what I've got. So let me read the blurb for you. Enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays. Friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only two ways out. You graduate or you die. Oh, it sounds so good. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it. That is, unless she has no other choice. The Bear and the Nightingale author, Catherine Arden, has blurbed this. And Naomi Novik, who is the author, is quite a well-known author for like fantasy. I think this will be my first book of hers that I finish. And in terms of the bookmark, I have this one, and you can kind of see with the... Are you alright? Did you just drop your Lego? Oh, you ripped Goku in half. No! Goku? What happened to Goku?
It's just some pieces don't like stick.
What happens when it's cheap? How's your modern family going?
It's actually pretty funny.
That's good. Oh no. First sentence. I always forget to read the first sentences for you guys. Hang on. I decided that Orion needed to die after the second time he saved my life. Ooh, that is a good first line. I honestly needed to die after the second. I honestly think that's a 5. I think that's a 5 for a first sentence. That's good. But yes, now I'm going to sit down and I'll check in with you guys once I've read this first chunk. Team, man, we really need to get a headboard, but we'll get there. Reading update for Deadly Education. I have made it to page 50. And I realise why I put it down after about 20 pages previously, because the beginning of this is very info dumpy. So you're getting so much information about the school, which is basically layered. You're getting so much information, layered, and like it keeps cycling through. So every year when the students get a year older, they cycle further down. You get so much info dump on the magic system, which is basically you have to get the energy from somewhere. You get so much information about all these different characters, different types of, I'm going to call them witches and wizards. I don't think that's the word they use. I don't know if they've given like a title for the magic users. I know that like humans are called mundanes. But there's a lot of info and it's done okay. I've followed everything so far, but I can definitely imagine how it'd be too much if you weren't ready for it. I think because I'd already read the first 20 pages before, it definitely had helped, although I didn't remember much of it. I'm getting into it now. I'm liking it a lot more this time around than the first time round. I still think there's a bit of info dump happening, but that is to be expected when you start a fantasy novel. No doubt, once I continue, I should say, because I'm going to keep reading this tonight before I fall asleep, which will be soon. But no doubt I'll get sucked in because of the competition element as well. So it's like a school and a competition, which are two of my favourite kind of book elements. So honestly, it's a pretty good reading day to day. 50 pages of a book that seems like I'm going to enjoy it, and an essay where I learnt about Pandora. So that's pretty good. And a productive day at work. Good. I am home. And I am home whilst it's still light out for the first time in what feels like ages. So even though it's a bit nippy out, I am sitting here and I am adamant to make the most of this balcony and this view. But I got so mad on the way home tonight. Let me tell you a story. Yes, I know trains. I've got a gripe with your officers. So, one of the offences, and yes, that is the word used, one of the offences is putting your feet up on the seats in the trains. Now, I am not disputing that. Yeah, that's a bit dirty to do. Okay? But I do that because I curl up like this, right, on across two seats, sitting right next to each other, two seats, and read my book on the train. My bag's on the seat next to me and I lean against the side of the window and I read, because it's a decently long train ride for me home and it's just comfort for me. Now, I knew I was breaking a little rule, but I didn't realize it was offense, okay? I did not realize it was an offense. And look, I'm not mad. It was a rule. I knew I was breaking it. Call me out. Call me out. But the officer who came and told me off got my details, and I could be fined for it. Hopefully I'm not, because I have never skipped a Mikey payment before, like on the trains, and I spend $100 a fortnight on train commuting. But what really has ground my gears, all right, is by the way, I was super polite, and the officer that pulled me up on it said, I asked him, oh, I understand I've broken the rule, that's okay, I'm not questioning that, I'm just asking why it's an offence. So I understand smoking's an offence in the train because it's horrible, and like swearing when it becomes like verbal abuse is an offence, but loud music is annoying, right? But also that's an offence. And I was just asking, I said, is it because it's considered rude and dirty, or is it because it's taking up a seat? Again, guys, also for context, the train's empty when I get on it, okay? I am not stopping a seat from anyone, and most of the time I'm paying attention to who's hopping on and off the train, right? Because if an elderly person hops on, I'm more than happy for them to have my seat. I like to think I'm quite conscientious and courteous of the people around me. Okay, so for context, nobody needed the seat that my feet were on. There were heaps of other seats at the time of when he fined me. And you know what his response was? He said, there's lots of reasons for like how speeding is an offence. And I was like, well, speeding's an offence because you could kill someone. So I asked him why, just like not with that much passion either. I was eating my Pocky and keeping myself calm and trying to not get too embarrassed in the public. And so I just, yeah, I know. And so I just said, so like, why is it an offence? Do you know all he could say to me is, it's on a list of offences, if you want more information, go there. So this guy is ticketing me, potentially ticketing, like, okay, my name's written up, potentially fining me, and he can't tell me why what I've done is an offence. And he tried to tell me that speeding has many reasons for it being offence. I'm like, yes, because it is very clearly possible to kill someone when you speed. And I even said to him, like, oh, I'm just repeating myself now, I'm going in circles. I even said to him, is it to do, he could have said, oh, both, and I would have been satisfied. I just wanted to know why my action was an offence. If he said, oh, you were being rude, I'd be like, yeah, fine. But he couldn't tell me, so he was fining me because he had been told that it was on his list to fine me. Oh, it gets my knickers in a twist. Anyway, deadly education update. It's going really well, and that is the reason why I wasn't aware of the officers coming on the train. I am up to page 138, and I have to say I'm liking it. This is an example of why a romance and how it should be, I'm pretty sure it's young adult romance, and how it should be written in some cases. In this case, they're not even really love interests, right? But they don't even like each other. They are not romantically attached, but I ship them so hard rather than them falling in love over a day. You know what I mean? But the action is really good. The monsters are really good. The whole political side of it, because they have to like try team up with other people to survive, is really good. So yeah, I'm just absolutely enthralled with it. I'm going to use the last rays of the light you can see over there to keep reading my book, and I have some lollies. I'm going to try chill out and move on from the train situation. But all the same, screw you trains, screw you. I want you all to know I am now on page 200. Yes, I'm in bed. I wanted to sit on an electric blanket. I'm on page 200 of 312, and I cannot stop reading this, and I do not think I will be able to stop until I finish it. And I'm trying to remember if I started it this morning or yesterday. And I think the answer was this morning. No, yesterday. But I didn't read much yesterday, only 50 pages. So it's almost a book all in one day vibe. I'm really liking it. And I think this is just proving that when I originally put it down after a few pages, I just wasn't in the mood for it, which proves that I have become way more of a mood reader. I will say there are still moments of info dump, not overwhelming info dump, but there's a couple of passages, a couple of pages which are just pure like backstory. But the plus side of this is I like the magic system because the characters have to store up, they're calling it mana, to use. And so your magic just isn't pulled from nowhere. There's consequences for it. But the reason why mundanes, the humans, can't see the magic is because it's about belief. So if the mundanes don't believe magic is real, then they can't see the magic. So I like the magic system. I think it works out really well. Also the creatures, because there's always creatures trying to hunt down the students in this magic school, are so different to what I've read. You don't have like your classic vampires and stuff. You have there's only so many kind of magics and monsters you can make up, right? But there's like this slime that goes around and absorbs people into its gelatinous body. There's all these little it's just cool. It's cool. I like all the imagery going on. I do wish I could picture the characters a bit more. I feel like some of their features are kind of just like blurred faces, if you know what I mean. So that's definitely something that might be down to my reading, though, because I've been a bit distracted when I've been reading. Ty's been watching not Top Gear, what's it called? Grand Tour special that was released, and it's often snags my attention, so I might have missed some things. But anyway, I'm just sitting here and I'm reading, guys. I can't stop, won't stop. Good morning, everybody. I am just ready to go out, but I wanted to check in with you all and talk to you about A Deadly Education. I finished it last night as predicted, but went straight to sleep because I was so tired. But I'm definitely giving it a 5 stars. I thought it was such a good book. My favourite elements of it are the magic system, and I think that's hugely... Oh, where am I? Come on. I think that's hugely to do with how fresh it felt. As you know, I've talked about a few times, YA fantasy has been falling off for me a little bit because things feel so repetitive, but this one is YA fantasy and I loved it, and I think it's given me hope for future me to still enjoy YA fantasy. And then also the explanation for how humans don't know about magic is because it's all about belief. So if a mage tried to do a spell in front of a mundane, they call humans in the book. If the mundane doesn't believe in magic, the person casting the spell could lose their own ability to do magic. Also, like, again, with the magic system, they genuinely have to study spells and memorize spells in order to use them, and I just think it's really cool. The plot itself was good, the monsters were good, it was just entertaining. There were moments of info dump beyond just the beginning of the book, but it didn't bother me too much because it felt important. The descriptions and stuff, it felt important, and in my opinion added to what was going on in the book, information that we needed. So yes, I am definitely enjoying that novel, and it is actually the first of a trilogy. So I was trying to avoid starting series when I hadn't finished series, but I'll figure it out. For now, A Deadly Education, the Scholarman series is on my series I'm currently reading. In other news, we're going book shopping. I need to pick up some books for next term for school, which is why I'm buying them. I'm normally fine just issuing them out, but when I teach a book, I want to have my own copy so I can annotate and take notes myself, so that when I'm creating lesson plans and whatnot, it's what's the word? I'm like fluent in the story, so if kids ask questions, I'm able to deeply answer with confidence and also have a greater understanding of the book because I will have been exposed to it. I normally like reread books I teach. But yeah, so come with me to go book shopping for the first time in Australia. Yeah, well, I'm guessing it's got Sichuan in it, right? Because it said numbing. And I got, my order for the day was grapefruit, babe, green tea with pearls and white pearls. I decided to change it up a bit. get the Biscoff latte, please?
The ice one?
You want that? Ice? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then can I please get the sparkling Yakult strawberry? Bethany. It's not my name. Thank you. Ah, true. But I wasn't thinking about it then. Oh yeah, look how big this is, babe. I'm in heaven. Do, 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 do. Oh my god, it keeps going. Oh, is this fiction new releases?
What?
That's poetry anthologies now, darling. I don't know where it would be, yeah. It might just be under, like, normal. Steinbeck. STE or STI is one or the other. Oh, One Piece. I don't know, I want to watch it because once I've read them, I'm not really interested in the anime. Yeah, I feel like we need to watch them.
How nice would it be to have?
Oh, be awesome, but you might need a few more shelves.
And then the gaps as well.
What do you mean in the gaps?
Because it doesn't go 12 to 44.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, there's so many options. The thing is, I'm going to annotate it for school, so I don't feel like I should get the really nice one.
Not that one.
Which one? The orange one or the... It's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is good.
God, it's so light.
How much is it? How much is that one?
23.
How much is the penguin one?
They're both penguin ones.
Oh, that one. Go
15.
for the cheaper one.
$15 one?
It's a classic looking one. Go for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, please, babe. That's it.
Is it this one?
Yes, please.
Is there only one version of it?
Yeah. I think I can claim tax back on these because they're for work. That's cool.
It's a $30 book.
Yeah, I know, books are expensive.
That one's not.
Oh, that's because it's like the mass paperback version. Oh, bookmarks. Oh, bookmarks. I can't tell which one's better, babe. If you had to vote, what one would you go for?
Probably the purple one.
That one? Okay, done. How many fancies, babe? Oh, you're distracted by One Piece box set. Oh, I love you. You're so funny. What is that one? That's colourful. I have been summoned by a bag and book sign, so I'll be back. Oh. That's pretty.
Fucking dog here.
A whoopsie. Alright, ignore the washing here that is drying, but let's do a haul. I have some books, and I have some not books, which I was not intending on spending money on. Let's start here, because we have an assortment of things. First things first, I have a very, I don't want to say strict colour scheme, but very much a vision going on about how I want our apartment to look. And by the way, don't worry, Titus is on board with this. But very much it's greens, blues, hints of pink and yellow. And we went to Daiso and picked that up because this is just ugly. But we needed body wash. So I'm going to put this in here, and that is for the bathroom. What else do I have in here? Good old Daiso. This thingy for your vegetables. This thingy for your cords. And I could not resist these stickers. I really need to get journaling again. I haven't done it since we've moved into this new place. And I just have like a thing at the moment for like candy things. I don't know why. And then toothpaste. No, we're all adults here. We're all hygienic. Okay, first things first. I did not need more clothes, but I've noticed something, and that is as I've grown up a bit older, I'm shying away from really tight clothing to more baggy clothing. And I think that's to do also with like the fashion at the moment, but also comfort, and also work lets me wear pretty much whatever I want. But I'm very aware that I don't want it to be too tight because I don't want it to be too, is it arrogant to say sexy? Like I don't want it to be too form-fitting. I don't want it to be too, just too. So I went the complete opposite and got these pants, which is so baggy, But I love me a good wide leg pant at the moment, and I think I'll be able to style these really cool with a lot of the stuff I have in my wardrobe. I will say the sizing is really weird, and also I would not pay $100 for these pants full price. I got them on sale. They went down to 18 each, which honestly, like $100 to 18, you know, I'm here for that. So I got them in this green, which I wear a lot of, and then I did also get them in black. Yeah, I got the same pair of pants in black. The sizing though is a bit weird. So I got these ones, I got them both in a small. I tried on the extra smalls and they were weird around the crotch, but anyway, they're also very comfortable. So I'm looking forward to probably just wearing them around the house as well as comfort pants. Ty, speaking of pants, got himself some jeans. Let me just take the tag off. These were Levi's, which he got on a good sale, and they're cool. A little bit distressing, but not too much, unlike my jeans at the moment. Yeah, just some Levi's on a good old sale. And then the piece de la resistance for me is this. Now, I am a tall girl. If you don't know, I'm 5'11". I'm technically 5'10" and a half, but I round up to 5'11". And I struggle with getting pants to fit me in the length, in length, things to fit me in the waist because I am a slim bean, and then I've got pretty broad shoulders, deceptively broad shoulders. So between here, and then the length of my legs, I'm like 3 different sizes because I also have deceptively, like, my hips are quite big compared to my waist. I don't know, my body just doesn't fit. I mean, so many people have this problem. Clothes just don't fit you. So jumpsuits are something I have been after for a long time. Like, I've tried on so many jumpsuits and given myself camel toe way too many times because I've got a long torso and then long legs, and it doesn't fit me in length in the leg, it doesn't fit me in the body. Anyway, obviously I'm leading up to show you a jumpsuit which fits me. I paid full price for this, and I feel like this is one of the only things I've bought in my life full price, clothing wise. I'm actually seriously thinking about this. I feel like it must be. If I shop online, it's only ever from the sale. If I shop in store, I won't. I mean, okay, let's clarify. I will buy things full price if they're cheap enough. I feel like that's fair to say. I've never bought something over $100 full price, clothing wise. Shoes, I'm sure I will have. But anyway, it did set me back $140. But I'm a working girl, and it's going to be really hard to show you. Maybe I'll wear it. In fact, I will wear it. I will definitely wear it because I paid for it. I'll probably wear it Monday to school. It is this jumpsuit which fits me. When I say the perfect length, like the perfect length, it has little bobbles so I can cinch it in. It has, and another thing, again, like I said, the waist, right? This has this elastic. You can see how much I've cinched it in when I was trying it on. So this fits me in the waist. It zips all the way down. So if I wanted to, like, completely unzip it and style it rolled down, I could do that. I could have something underneath it, or when I tried it on, it looks really cool, just zipped up. It's got shoulders. It's got shoulders, so I don't need to worry about like bra straps on show at work. It's got a collar, so I feel like it formalizes a little bit. I'm gonna get so much wear out of this. I tried it on with my white Nikes I was wearing in the shop, and they looked pretty good with white shoes. I also tried on Titus's Vans, obviously too big, but like for the vibe, they looked really cool with that. I've got stuff that I'll be able to make outfits with, so I'm just really happy about that find. Now let's get to what I've got in the, now I don't even know how to say it, Dimux bag. First books I've bought in a long while, and I have to say they're not for like, yay, add them to my TBR. This is for school. If you don't know, if you've somehow not picked up, which isn't on you, you just might not know, I am an English teacher, and next term we're doing book studies, and all the book studies are done in the same term. I'm still getting my head around the Australian system, to be honest. I need to keep that receipt for tax return purposes. But to help me be prepared for those lessons, as I've already talked to you about, I wanted to go find the books. So I have. Let's talk about them. We have like A House on Fire by Kate Kennedy. This is an anthology collection, and this is an Australian author, so I'm really excited to read this one. So this is from prize-winning short story writer Kate Kennedy. Comes a new collection to rival her highly acclaimed dark roots. In Like a House on Fire, Kennedy once again takes ordinary lives and dissects their ironies, injustices and pleasures with her humane eye and wry sense of humour. In Laminex and Mirrors, a young woman working as a cleaner in a hospital helps an elderly patient defy doctor's orders. In Cross Country, a jilted lover manages to misinterpret her ex's new life. And in Ashes, a son accompanies his mother on a journey to scatter his father's remains while lifelong resentments simmer in the background. Kate Kennedy's poignant short stories find the beauty and tragedy in illness, mortality, life and love. And I'm actually in charge of creating the unit of work for the year 10s. This is going to be year 10. So how old are they? Putting into perspective for people around the world. Year 10s over here are New Zealand's year 11s, so they're 15, 10 and 16-ish. Wow. Now that I've said that, I'm thinking of my year 10s. They don't seem that young. They seem a lot older than that. Anyway, that's what we're doing with them. Let's go down to my year 9s. They are doing Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and it's so much more smaller. I do have a lisp sometimes. So much smaller than I honestly thought it was going to be. Now, if you're thinking, Bethany, I did that at high school, I know. Something I've learned about Australia texts is that you tend to definitely hit some of the more classic books. And this book I have never read myself. And apparently it deals with, in fact, let me just read the blurb. Two drifters, small, shrewd George and huge, simple-minded Lenny, get to work on a ranch, planning to raise enough money to get a place of their own and live off the land. If George can save his childlike bullstrong friend from getting in trouble. I'm pretty sure, yeah, my colleagues told me that this does have the N-word in it. It has lots to do about racism, and so it's going to be good to do with year 9s because it's going to introduce them and widen their perspectives on life and people's just experiences. There'll be a lot of learning around how to respectfully and thoughtfully have conversations around the topics in this book. And then for the year 8, they are doing Neil Gaiman's Coraline. I will not lie to you all, Coraline, I've watched half the movie and then stopped because when I was a kid it was kind of creepy for me, and I never picked it back up. I'm actually just looking. This edition has pictures in it, which is really cool. I wonder if I can use that in class somehow. I'm sure I'll be able to use that in class somehow. So, there is something strange about Coraline's new home. It's not the mist or the cat that always seems to be watching her, nor the signs of danger that Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, her new neighbours, read in the tea leaves. It's the other house, the one behind the old door in the drawing room. Another mother and father with black button eyes and papery skin are waiting for Coraline to join them there, and they want her to stay with them forever. She knows that if she ventures through that door, she may never come back. Again, decently short, which is good, because a little insight into teaching, you don't assume that students read the book at home, so you read it to them during class. For my year 10s, it'll be a little bit different. I would be expecting them to potentially do some reading at home. I don't know yet how it all looks. I'm still getting my head around the transition from New Zealand expectations to Australian. But yeah, that's, oh, I've been filming for 10 minutes. Oh no, I forgot. I got bookmarks. You saw me looking at bookmarks. I got 2. I got the traditionally kind of book list one. I love all things vintagey. I say that. I don't live in a vintage lifestyle or anything. But when it comes to bookmarks and that like journaling aesthetic, these were $7, which I didn't think was too bad considering they come with a tassel and they're like thick. And you can see now that I've taken this one out of the packet, I think. Can you see? There's like a bit of a shine, a bit of a gilding on some elements. And then I got a dragon one because I don't have a dragon one. Aside from my metal glow in the dark one, but I don't have a dragon one on card. And then also, I'm not going to show you because they're up on the bench, my bookmarks that I bought, that I mentioned buying in the last vlog have started to come in. I spent $80 online on bookmarks, and then these were another $14, so I spent almost $100 on bookmarks. I need to put myself on a shopping ban. but keep an eye out because there will be a book mag haul coming as soon as all the book mags arrive, which I'm very excited about, and I hope they arrive in time before the end of the month, which they're all scheduled to do so. But anyway, I'm going to put these things away, and then I'm going to sit down and read the next essay in the Pandora's Jar book so that I can keep chipping away at that. And we'll go from there. We're going to a footy match later on tonight, so it might be like after an essay, it might be time to make dinner and scooch off. I forgot to mention, for those books for school, I also picked up some post-it notes. You got green ones? Hang on, I'll turn you around. These green ones with lines on them. Oh, what was that glitch? These ones which come in three colours? I think 3 colours. Yeah, there we go. Blue, yellow. Why am I shaking? Blue, yellow, and pink. And I'm excited for these because they have the little tabs and then just some little ones. So that as I'm going through and reading my school books, I can make notes of things if I get any ideas for a teaching task. Yeah, and I'll be sure to take you guys along on that journey too, because I don't normally annotate books, except for school. It's time to get ready for the game, and I'm going to pack myself a little snack bag, because you're allowed to do that. You just can't bring in glass and metal, right?
Yeah.
Huh? So, I have a little baggie. Ty, do you want anything? Huh? Ty, do you want anything?
No, not yet.
He says no, but he'll steal whatever I get anyway, so. Exactly, he says. So, we'll go for a couple of Freddos, a couple of lollipops. I'll get some chicken and chips at the stadium anyway. I'm gonna add some of my favourite lollies. You don't want them? You say it, you'll eat them. Our last packet of Pocky. And some licorice. To the grounds we go. Why is it all so blurry? I don't know, but I can smell some wacky tobacco. Is it normal tobacco? It does not smell good. Get your AirPods. Okay, more steps. This must be like step challenge of the day. You must have done like 1,000 steps at the end of today. You guys know the drill. They're from Tigerland. I'm fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us moving. It started to rain. Rain, rain, rain. Oh, the ghosts are like leaving, babe. They're all leaving in their little rain jackets. I actually own these. They're just in New Zealand, but I've got the original covers, and I'm so glad I do because I think these ones are like uglier. Oh, get back here. Yeah, it'll probably be sold out here as well. I will. I'll order it online. I will just order it online. Ooh, stationery. Do you want one for work? Cover, babe. The centre folds. Oh, okay, so the big posters, right? Ooh, I can't show this online. Hi everybody, and good morning. I am currently trying to work through this problem I have on my tablet, where there's this app that's just not letting me read the books on it. But in terms of reading, I did finish the second essay in Pandora's Jar. I read 2 pages last night and fell asleep. And this one was on Oedipus's mother, who is known by 2 names, but most commonly Jocasta. And it was really interesting because, I mean, like I said, I've been reading this and learning heaps about Greek mythology. I didn't even realize Oedipus's dad is like killed by him. Part of his whole prophecy wasn't just marrying his mother, but killing his father. And then like there's so many different variations of Jocasta. Oh, I'm a bit sleepy. It was just really interesting. This essay collection continues to be interesting. I was really considering about picking up the second book in the Scholomance series. So A Deadly Education Book 2 is The Last Graduate. But I decided against it because I do want to try like finish a monthly TBR. So I'm going to let the wheel choose what my next pickup for today is, by the way, which is the Sunday. As you all know, because editing me puts up the days. So we're going to see how far through a book I can get today. We've got nothing planned, so who knows? Depending on the book, I might even be able to finish it today. We'll see. All right, I will admit to spinning the wheel, but I've obviously not put it in here because it spun the wheel and I realised I don't want to read Obsidio. I want a romance. And so I'm actually going to indulge in my mood reading desire, and I'm going to pick up A Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Tiffany and Leon share a flat. Tiffany and Leon share a bed. Tiffany and Leon have never met. Their friends think they're crazy, but it's the perfect solution. Night worker Leon occupies the one-bed flat while Tiffy's at work in the day, and she has the run of the place the rest of the time. But with obsessive ex-boyfriends, demanding clients at work, wrongly imprisoned brothers, and of course the fact that they still haven't met, they're about to discover that if you want to feel at home, you should throw the rulebook out the window. It's decently thick, but hang on, how many pages? 370. Decently big for a romance. This is what I feel like, so let's get into it. Oh no, first I always forget this. First sentence. I should really be interesting to track and see if the first sentence ratings I give a book are ever indicative of their final rating. I know it was the case with The Deadly Education. Anyway, sentence 1. You've got to say this for desperation. It makes you much more open-minded. Desperation. It makes you much more open-minded. It was okay. I could read that and be like, yeah, I don't need to know what else happens in the story. What's line 2? I really can see some positives in this flat. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a 3. It's not bad. I'm not disinterested, but I'm not like grappling to read. Oh, and yeah, I know train. This is my bookmark because it's like the idea of two hands hardly meeting. I'm gonna read. Oh, hi team. It's a few days later and I've actually just realised that I never told you my final thoughts on The Flat Share. I did in fact finish it in all of one sitting and I'm going to give it 4 stars. Now this might surprise you because you're like, girl, how did you finish a book all in one setting and not give it 5 stars? Well, let me tell you things I liked. I liked the whole plot of this story in terms of 2 people never meeting before and then they like fall in love over post-it notes, like a little bit of a modern love letter. I like the juxtaposition of characters. One is introverted and quiet, one is very loud and out there. I think the stalkery, trauma-y inducing ex-boyfriend of our main characters, I always forget characters' names, even if I've just finished a book, but Tiffy has a creepy stalker ex-boyfriend. I think the way it was handled was good. There is no sexual assault, it's emotional assault, and I think that's just as important to talk about. Sometimes I feel like sexual assault is used without really thinking about why that was the kind of assault to use in the story, if that makes any sense. Like sometimes it feels like it's used for a shock factor, whereas the emotional abuse in this book is powerfully critiqued. So I loved that. I liked the characters themselves. The thing that let me down a little bit was, and this is going to sound so stupid, but their romance evolves beautifully, but it kind of leaves you with, dare I say, like blue balls. If you've made it to the end of this vlog, then I feel like we know each other a little bit here. I don't mean to say I think there should be more sex in this book. I just think that there's some really steamy scenes leading up to when they finally sleep together, and when they do sleep together it's behind closed doors, and so I feel like for an adult romance book it kind of left you feeling a little bit unsatisfied. Not in a sexual way, it just felt like things hadn't been properly concluded in some sense, but again, it was still good. I really enjoyed the book. It was super duper easy to read. I did put it down a few times just to refill my snacks, so overall I do think this is good. the triggers for this. I've decided I'm gonna leave my little trigger post-it notes in the library books, and then if someone wants to like get rid of them, they can. But also, I'm gonna put them like a few pages in, so the librarians might be less likely to see them. Because this one does have a decent amount of triggers. It has fat shaming, a bad breakup, a controlling partner who ends up being emotionally abusive, hospital setting with a very sick patient, including children, from assaulted illnesses, victim blaming, wrongful imprisonment, gaslighting, and a stalker ex-boyfriend, like proper stalker behaviour. So that's this book. Overall, I think this has been a pretty good reading vlog. I did manage to get my hands on Fourth Wing, so I will be doing a What the Hype episode. However, I do have... I found it online. PDF version, yeah. We looked high and low when we were grabbing these books for that book, but I found it online. However, I do need to prioritise these because it is currently the last Tuesday of term, and I am teaching these books in 2.5 weeks. So I'm going to do the next vlog on these, so stay tuned for that, and then I'll get into the Fourth Wing. I just need to go full on nerd and post-it note the crap out of these, which I'm actually really itching to do, hence why I'm finishing off this vlog so I can start these. But yeah, thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I'll see you annotating these in the next one.